Sorry, hay fever. Welcome everyone. Bayern Munich is traveling to Heidenheim for the first time, playing against the team Heidenheim tomorrow with Thomas Tuchel. We have the press conference now and asking for the first questions. Hello, Thomas. A question about the players. Manuel Neuer hasn't practiced until yesterday in goalkeeping specific practice. Come on. So Manu is not going to be part of the squad. Neither is Leroy nor Kingsley. Alex Pavlovic won't be in the squad as well. He's ill. Nusmas Raoui is not in the squad as well. Rafa will be back in the squad. That is what I can tell you right now. The problem is that none of the 5 players will be saved for Tuesday, but they are not in the squad because it's just not possible to bring them on. So it's a big question mark for Tuesday as well. What is the tendency? There is no tendency. Every day counts, every minute counts. So none of the 5 players is someone that I could say, well, he's not in the squad for Saturday, but he'll be available on Tuesday. That's not the case. We have to wait and see. Mr. Tuchel, you were just talking about the 5 players and not saving them for Tuesday. How about players that are fit and might need a break, like Jamal Musiala? Maybe. No, he doesn't need a break. He had a week off anyways. So the game against Heidenheim, how are you going to approach it in order to get up to speed against Arsenal? Well, it's always our task, and we're not going to do it for the first time. It's our responsibility to prepare for Heidenheim and to make amends after the last weekend. That is always the important thing, to not think about the game after the next game, but to think about the next game. And with the constellation that we have now, it's a bit of a more challenging situation. But I don't see any reason why we should change our approach and our work away from the here and now, because we have to be the best version of ourselves today in preparation and in practice, and that's the same for tomorrow. I know that this is the task, but that is how it is, and we're not going to leave anyone out of this responsibility as far as our starting 11 or substitutions are concerned, because the best preparation for the game after the next game is the preparation for the next game. Mr. Tuchel, after the Dortmund game, you were congratulating Leverkusen to the championship. Is it more difficult now to motivate the team for the next game in the league? Well, the motivation hopefully doesn't come from our positioning on the table. Obviously, we want to have it differently, and we are completely unhappy with the situation and with the last weekend and with our result and our performance and the result of Leverkusen. So we should have enough anger in our hearts to get things right on Saturday and show an answer with all the things that we were missing against Dortmund. Because we just weren't investing enough, we were not gritty enough as far as winning the game was concerned. For 90 minutes, that just wasn't enough on the pitch. So we have a couple of things to solve with ourselves, and so we have to reach our own standards week after week and be the best version of ourselves, because we always play against ourselves. If we reach our level, we are a very strong team and we can win against everyone. But if we don't, then we can lose against anyone and get in trouble against everyone. And that's what we have proven as well. So this doesn't have to do anything with congratulating Leverkusen. There were 10 points before the game, 13 after the game. So it wasn't the right moment to call a charge on Leverkusen. Mr. Tuchel, it's the first away game at Heidenheim. What do you expect at this stadium, and how important is that game looking ahead to the Champions League? Every game is important, not only looking ahead to the Champions League. It's important to win. It's important to show some grip and show a reaction and just get those basics back into our game. And very quickly, we were, after this performance against Dortmund and the result, we have to do better. And so tomorrow, it's a very classical challenge, the David against Goliath, and a very small stadium, a stadium that will support the home team and a team that has nothing to lose. So it's a mixture of all the questions that were asked today already. Obviously, there is a game after this that we are putting an enormous emphasis on, but we cannot press the skip button and just go to the next and the game after the next game. We cannot say, well, I'm going to be top at tomorrow's practice, because everybody has the responsibility. We were talking about this clearly, and we're going to ask for that. And even though the championship is probably no longer a topic and the German Football Federation Cup is away, we still are in one competition. And if we want to reach that goal, we have to show great performance every day and continue to stretch and work hard, even though the season is in a pretty late state. And no matter where we play, whom we play, and when we are practicing, if you sign a contract for Bayern Munich, there are those demands. How do you see Sven Ulreich, and how difficult is it to go from 0 to 100 for a replacement goalkeeper? That is very difficult, but he's really doing a good job. Ole is very reliable and very good in situations like that to get to 100% immediately. He's very good friends with Manu as well, so both are supporting each other, and he's very experienced. And as long as Manu is injured, Ole will play, and when Manu gets back, it's the other way around. Mr. Tuchel, Matthijs de Ligt was really strong in the past couple of weeks. How do you see him? And is he approaching the type boss of the defense that you were acquiring him as? Well, I don't know. He played really well, and he had the same problems as all had against Dortmund. But again, the result and the way it came about was the starting moment for everyone, that we're gonna give out the cards anew, and everybody has to fight for his own place. Matthijs did a good job with Eric in the past, but we had good games with Minje and Upa as well, so the decision hasn't been made for tomorrow and for the other games as well. So we're gonna reset the clocks, and I'm very happy with his performance in the past couple of weeks, but whether it's Mata or others, we cannot always say, well, this has been good or that has been good. But he was part of the team on Saturday, and we just weren't happy with the team. So we have 4 strong central defenders. Everybody wants to play, and we're going to decide from game to game who's going to fit the best. How far are you thinking about greater changes in the team? Obviously, the injured players won't help you with that, but after being pretty much settled, then one team changed it all. So Alexander Pavlovic, is it his bad throat? No, he was back in training, but then he got infected and he's in bed. So, and Alex and Nuse are out, and I just can remember you and remind you of the press conference ahead of the Darmstadt game. We were just 19 players in the team. And in practice, when we had a really good mood and a totally different mood, now we have 5 potential starting candidates out. So the possibilities to try something out tactically or to build more of a challenge for places is pretty much away. But I must not lose focus now and just think about what we need against Arsenal, because the situation is just crazy with all the injured players. And I was thinking about a couple of situations that we might have used against Arsenal, but in the last couple of games we could have tried some things, but we were just missing some players that would be playing a big part in the games. It starts with Manu, it ends with our wingers, but we'll see whether we can get some players into the rhythm that haven't played too long in order to see who's ready. And then we see it's about our mental approach tomorrow and approach those 90 minutes that we just haven't reached against Dortmund. We're talking about Sven Ulreich, and then there's a third goalkeeper as well, Daniel Peretz. Can you talk us through how you saw him at Bayern Munich and how do you see him in the long run? He's really a top guy, top mentality. He's practicing like a madman. No matter what time you're coming to the practice courts, he's practicing with Michael Rechner all the time. He's part of the team practice as well. He's always smiling. He's really practicing fantastically and a good guy on the right place. He has a sensational training group with Ole and Manu in order to learn. And so he's happy, and we are very happy. A short question. What is with Leroy and Kingsley Coman? What are their problems? Is it the patella? With Leroy, is it muscular? With Leroy, the biggest problem is his groin. And with Kingsley, it's a muscular injury that bothers him. He had a long, intensive build-up, but then after the 30 minutes that he played, he really got huge muscular problems. We first were fearing for a structural problem, but yesterday we were checking it out, and we had the result that it isn't a structural problem, but at the time he just can't sprint and just can't speed up on the highest level and stop as well. Mr. Tuchel, can you talk us through your own personal feeling? How do you see the actual situation? You're appearing to be frustrated with the injury situation. Is it the most frustrating season you ever had as a coach with all the setbacks? Well, I didn't mean to appear frustrated, but yes, we all wish for more fights for places and the possibility to try out different tactical things, but you need alternatives on several positions. And I am completely unhappy with myself and the way we played against Dortmund. Again, I thought we were further and we wouldn't take that step back, but at the same time, I know that some things just don't go your way sometimes, and there is no reason to hide, and there's no reason to be in a bad mood or to complain. We just continue and continue. We have tried to push the team, and I'm not going to take anyone out of the responsibility, and neither myself, to continue till the very end with the head held high, and no matter how difficult the path is, we're going to do a good final practice session, and then we travel to Heidenheim, and then I expect the best approach from me and the best preparation for the team, and I expect that from every single player as well, and then we're going to continue. And overall, the season, as frustrating and as dissatisfying it might be, as far as the goals are concerned, we still have one goal, and that is to travel to Wembley. We're in the quarterfinals. There are not too many steps to go. So it's very important that we really approach everything under that goal, and so we have to get results against Arsenal and hopefully reach the semi-final, but we're gonna set everything back compared to that goal, but we're not gonna give even a percentage away as far as our competitiveness is concerned. So if it appeared in a different way, then, well, it happened that way, but we are not frustrated internally. We're completely unhappy, obviously, with the situation. And we've been that for a longer time, because in the game against Leverkusen, we had the chance to actually pass them, but then within 1 week, this gap opened up, which wasn't too much of a problem, but it got bigger and bigger, and that is not something that reaches our demands and aspirations. But just like I said, we're gonna do everything to get the maximum success. So thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.